Honored.
Good morning, Yanis.
Good morning.
Morning, Yanis. Okay, Wally, whenever you're ready.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Good Erev Shabbos.
Good Erev Shabbos, Rabbi.
We spoke a few weeks ago about gel caps or gelatin in medication. And the question comes up all the time, medication in general. What is the halacha regarding brachos for medication? Do you make a bracha? Do you not make a bracha? And I wanted to just explore, it's not simply a yes and no answer. We should understand at least the background or the structure or the philosophical construct behind brachos in general and how they apply to non-food items such as medication, whether it's a pill, whether it's a gelatin a capsule or a gel cap, whether it's a liquid medication. These are not food items. What's the status of brachos regarding non-food items such as medication? So the basic principle is that God owns the world, and whatever we take from God's world, we are required to express gratitude for. The Gemara puts it in starker language. If you eat something without making a bracha, you're considered to be a thief. If you don't say thank you to Hashem, if you don't make a bracha on something, you're stealing from Hashem's world. So that's conceptually one framework. The importance of understanding the background of the halachos of brachos is twofold. First of all, we must make a bracha when we eat. The next question is, which bracha do you make? And this is a very important concept, because if you're making the wrong bracha, then you're making a bracha levatola, a bracha in vain, which means taking Hashem's name in vain, which is a very, very serious offense. It's one of the 10 commandments. You don't take Hashem's name unnecessarily or in vain. And so we have to know what bracha to make when we make it. That's number one. The brachos over food are in the category of birchos hanehenin, brachos that you recite when you experience benefit from something. There are many, many, many categories of brachos. You make brachos when you hear things like lightning or good news or bad news. You make brachos when you see things, a big ocean, a meteor. There are many. You smell. There are brachos for smell. There are brachos when you. There are many different types of brachos. Today we're going to focus simply on birchos hanehenin, brachos that you recite when you ingest something.
Wally,
Yes.
if you make the wrong bracha, should you go back and make the right one?
That's a very important question. It depends on what the bracha is. If you made a shahakol and it should have been an adama or her eitz, you're not required to repeat it, because the shahakol is a kind of covers everything. Mm-hmm. But if you made eitz instead of adama, or something that should have been a shahakol, and you said bari peri adama, it becomes difficult. It becomes problematic. That's why you have to be very, very careful when you make the brachos. You make the right brachos.
I want to say to you, Wally,
yeah,
I get a lot of brachos from Rabbi Google.
Yes.
Ask him, he'll tell you.
All right, a good person to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so the normal criteria for birchos hanehenin, brachos upon consumption, is if something gives you benefit, but benefit is a very broad category. Benefit in terms of it's tasty, I enjoy it, it's nutritious, and it's beneficial to you on different levels. That's what you make a bracha. If you eat something that tastes good and it comes from the ground or from the tree or it's manufactured, a nice flavor, you make the appropriate bracha because you are enjoying it. Birchos hanehenin means a bracha that you recite when you receive benefit from something. All right? And again, how much enjoyment do you have to have? Is it an interesting halakhic dispute by itself? For example, drinking water. Water has no taste. Water doesn't have nutritive value per se. You drink water because you're thirsty. So that's a benefit. So there are some fine lines here in terms of the degree that you have to enjoy something and that it provides some type of, not necessarily minimal taste, but minimal benefit, shall we say. Now, there's even a discussion in the Gemara, if I'm drinking water just because I'm thirsty, whether or not you actually have to make a bracha on it, because you're not getting any nutritive benefit from it, but you're just doing it to slake your taste. Or if you're drinking water, let's say, to make a pill go down, you're not drinking the water for the purpose of the water. Does that require a bracha? These are some of the intricacies of the background of brachos. You also have a situation where something that is a medical necessity was made more palatable by adding flavoring to it. So there you'd be required to make a bracha because there is, if not necessarily nutritive value, there is what you might call gustatory value. You're enjoying it. It has a flavor. You have a cherry-flavored cough medicine or a grape-flavored liquid of some sort. Many different types of oral medication. And it's also a fascinating discussion that you won't even get into today, injections. That's a whole, I mean, normally you don't make a bracha when you take an injection, but it's an interesting discussion nonetheless, because somebody is injecting something into your body that has therapeutic value. Is there a requirement to thank Hashem for that as well?
How about food?
Well, food can be therapeutic too.
I mean, you take an injection for food, they feed you with
Okay,
a feeding tube.
So a feeding tube is a very, very important question, whether it's a gastric tube or it goes through the throat. And you are, and it's not the normal derech achila. So a way out of it is to say it's not derech achila. It's not the normal way somebody eats. Yet you are receiving nutritive value, and there might be room to recite a bracha for a feeding tube under certain circumstances. These are very important questions. But medicine today is so, you have tablets and you have caplets and you have all different types of variations of liquids that you take. Ingestion, eating, has to be analyzed from different levels. Is it purely nutritive? Is it beneficial on certain levels? Does it impart flavor? What about things that are the eating process itself? Is there a difference halachically? And this is just background information. Is there a difference halachically between swallowing and chewing? If I just swallow a pill, I'm not eating it. I'm just swallowing it. I'm not even getting any benefit other than the fact that ultimately that pill will dissolve in my system and help me for whatever the purpose of that pill is. Do I have to chew to make a bracha? Or could I just swallow the pill? And what's the status of a bracha that I might have to make on not even chewing the pill? What if I don't enjoy the pill? What if it tastes horrible? If the medicine is really repulsive? And you know that not every medicine tastes good, even though they try. Do you make a bracha on something that you don't like? What if something, and you have the questions of ikar. It's not a simple question. It's not, and the poskim talk about it at great length. And there are many novel suggestions. Many poskim suggest.
Wally, if you don't like it, is that a bracha levatala?
Oh, so I'm coming to that.
Okay.
If you don't like something, but it's beneficial to you, you would make a bracha. Especially what most people do when they take a medication, sometimes the medicine will be mixed with food or mixed with a liquid. They'll add something to your orange juice, or they'll mash up a pill in your cereal. So if it's in that way, you avoid the questions of making a bracha on the medicine by itself. Taking pills can be very difficult for a person who has difficulty swallowing. There are other interesting shilas. But again, if the pill, the caplet, the liquid, if it has a flavoring, so that's one type of benefit that requires a bracha. If it has it's not nutritive, but it's beneficial, and especially if it tastes decently. To take water just to be able to swallow a pill, you may not be required to make a shahakol on the water just to help you swallow the pill, because you're not getting benefit in the normal way of drinking. So it's not a simple question. There are many different solutions to this. I can tell you that there are technical, legal requirements, and there are those that are less formal. I had a Rebbe once, a Rebbe Yosef Weiss, who solved the problems that whenever he had to take a pill, he would drink water first. A glass of water, make shahakol on the water to drink, to benefit from the glass of water, and then he would take the pill with a second glass of water. And that way he solved that halakhic problem. Even if medication does not technically require a bracha, we still have to be aware that medicine is part of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's grand plan, I guess, to achieve a desired effect. And we do take a bracha for the liquid, not so much for the medicine itself. The pill by itself is not a food, even if it might taste good because it's flavored. The pill by itself is being taken for its medical efficacy, not necessarily because it's something that you want to take or that you enjoy taking. So bottom line, the pills themselves, the medications themselves do not technically require a bracha, but we should make every effort to make a bracha on something that we do get benefit from, which is why if you take the water first, drink a glass of water, make a shahakol on the water, and then take your medicine, you will satisfy all sfeikos. But the rule of thumb is if you're not taking food for nutritive or gustatory value, it doesn't require a bracha technically. For example, if you are a chef preparing a meal in the kitchen and you're tasting things as you go along, you don't require a bracha on each thing that you're tasting, technically, because you're not doing it, you're not eating it. You're merely performing a certain function to help others eat. So even though you might technically be eating something or tasting something, it doesn't require a bracha because you're not getting benefit from it. The key word, it's birchas hanen. It's a bracha on deriving benefit. Now, granted, in the big picture, you are getting benefit because you're being helped medically. So from that perspective, you might say, well, I could make a blessing on it. But the pill itself is not food. The pill itself has medicinal value, but not nutritive value. And if something is not necessarily nutritive or you're eating it because you enjoy it for gustatory value, then technically it does not require a blessing.
Wally?
Yes.
The Torah says, "V'chalta v'savata v'rachta." There is no mention in the Torah about making a bracha beforehand.
Correct.
So where do we get that from?
Okay, so the Gemara in Brachos asked that very question, and it simply says it's logical. You don't take something from somebody without saying thank you.
But we don't make brachas on many things that we get benefits from. Let's say it's snowing outside, you put on boots. You don't make a bracha that you have boots to put on to protect you from the snow.
Because you've made that bracha in Birchas HaShachar earlier in the morning. The bracha of Hamechim Mitzadei Gover is for putting on shoes in the morning. So that bracha is already Berachos HaShachar.
So theoretically, you should be able to make a shahakol first thing in the morning and cover all day.
No, but you have to have in mind what you're going to be eating during the day. See,
Well,
putting on the shoes, the bracha of putting on the shoes in the morning allows you to be ambulatory. The bracha itself is a generic bracha, whereas brachas hanenin are much more specific. So for the only time this comes into play is on your Purim Seudah, because there are some rabbis who the Purim Seudah went on all day long. So they washed in the morning and they kept on eating all day long, and then it didn't require extra brachos during the day because they hadn't gotten up from the meal.
right.
But during the day, you're not eating one long meal normally. And then when a certain amount of time goes by after you've eaten, you have to say a bracha achrona or a bar nefashos or bench. So each time you do something requires a separate bracha. The non-nutritive aspect of medication might militate against making a bracha. However, there is a other type of benefit which might require a bracha. You know, it's not nutritive, it's not gustatory, it's not hanas goron, as they say, but there is a medicinal benefit. And for that benefit, there's a suffix of whether you make a bracha or not. So to avoid the suffix, you make a bracha on the liquid that you're drinking to get the pill down. If you don't drink a liquid and you just swallow the pill whole, you don't require a bracha. If you dry swallow a pill without any liquid, it doesn't require a bracha unless the pill is cherry flavor or orange flavor and you enjoy the flavor, in which case it might require a bracha. But normally the pill by itself doesn't require a bracha. It's the liquid that you drink with it that mandates you make a bracha, because, again, even there it might be a suffix.
So therefore,
there is a rule, suffix brachos lahakel. When you're in doubt, leave it out.
So would Svardim definitely not make a bracha?
Probably not. I'm not quite sure. I'm not expert on the Sephardic practice of pill taking, but I would say probably not. Because if you're following the halacha very, very technically, you don't require the bracha. Again, the birchas hanenin are primarily for food. And this is a non-food substance, and it's being taken for refuah. Today, however, it's made more complicated because most medications are flavored. Now,
so even if they're not, Wally,
what's that?
Even if they're not flavored, the safe thing to do is not to swallow pills without water, and you take them with water.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
Or take them, if you can, while you're eating. That's what I do when I take my pills. I make the brachas, the shehakol or mazonos, whatever I have on the food, and then I take my medicines.
Yeah. I mean, if you take it during a meal where you've already made your brachas or you've washed it, that eliminates the problem altogether.
Okay. Now, the other thing I have a question about is when you say that you don't enjoy water, because some people, if you're thirsty, but everybody knows, and you should know, that it's important to drink because you have to stay hydrated.
Yes.
And staying hydrated is very important. You can't enjoy your day or you can't enjoy anything else if you're not hydrated. Therefore, I think drinking water for the sake of drinking water is nan, and you're enjoying it, because in your mind, if you're going to think you're going to get hydrated, you're not going to enjoy anything else or whatever else you're doing that day.
Yeah. Well, that's a very good observation. I mean, today, again, the drinking the water all day long is important. And if during one of the bottles of water that you're drinking, you take a pill along with it, that solves the problem. That solves
right.
it. But you again, you're forgetting that in days gone by, it wasn't that simple to drink a bottle of water. You had to go to a well and you had to drink it up. So staying hydrated in the ancient world was not something that took place on a regular basis. Maybe that's
Yes, of course.
maybe that's why they didn't live so long then. I don't know. But clearly today, everybody carries a bottle of water with them. In days gone by, you want to go drink a water, you had to go to a well, and you had to pump it, or you had to drink a barrel or lower a pail. It wasn't that simple to drink water. And water was a very precious commodity in the Mediterranean, certainly. So historically, things have changed. But today, people take water all day long, and certainly makes it easier to take your medication. Most medications, as I said, are flavored, but the easiest way to avoid any questions is to drink your water and make your shahakol on the water, and then take the pill along with it, and that would solve that problem. But technically, by itself, the pill itself, in all probability, does not require a bracha by itself, especially if you're swallowing it and not chewing it. If you're chewing it and has flavor, it's different. But if you're swallowing a pill and there's no nutritive value to those pills, technically would not require a bracha.
So if you are eating, and I get yelled at sometimes that I'm eating too fast, and you're swallowing too fast. So if I make a bracha and I eat the food so quickly that I don't really chew it, then is that a bracha levatala?
No, because the food that you're swallowing does have nutritive value, and it is tasty. Maybe you're not appreciating as much because you're eating it quickly. I have the same problem. But you do appreciate it. You enjoy a good piece of food. You may eat it faster because that's how you eat. But you are enjoying it. And it's birchos hanen. It's a bracha on deriving benefit. You're enjoying it. People enjoy things at different rates. Some people have to draw out a meal, take a very, very long time to eat. Some people eat faster than others, but they still enjoy the meal.
Okay. What happens if you go someplace, let's say at a smorgasbord, and you eat something, you make a bracha. The first piece of food that you have, oh, this is new, let me try this. So you make a bracha. And then you have it in your mouth, you try to chew them, and you go, ugh, and then you spit it out. Did you make a bracha levatala there? Or do you have to try to eat a similar food very quickly within that time frame?
Okay, so the first rule of thumb, when you go to a shmorg at a wedding or a simcha,
make motzi.
Make hamotzi. Not every caterer is smart enough to put out bread at a smorgasbord.
Yes, they don't do it. Yeah,
some places do. If you can wash at a shmorg, that is the best thing to do for many reasons, because there are so many different foods that you're tasting, and there's so many different brachos that you make. You have the fish, and you have the meat, and you have the vegetables, and you have the sushi, and there are so many different things, and it can be confusing not only what bracha to make, but what order you should make it. I mean, there are halachos about that too. If you have mazonos and you have fruit, you should go to the mazonos first, and then even among the fruit, if you have grapes, eat the grapes before you eat the melon. There are halachos about the order. The safest thing to do is to wash.
Okay, so then if you wash, you're only making hamotzi.
That's correct.
Whereas if you're going to do shahakol first, and then adama, and then mazonos first, then ha'etz, and then adama, and then shahakol, you're making 4 brachos. So is it better to make 4 brachos?
No.
Then to make 1 and that's it?
It's better to make the 1 bracha because most people don't make the brachos in the right order.
Okay.
But
if you were to do them in the correct order,
if there's no option to wash, then mazonos would come first, and even among mazonos, there's an order. If you have wheat before barley and before oats, if you know what the stuff is made out of, and then if you have vegetables, then you have the meaning that I mentioned chumash, and the order that it's mentioned in the chumash. It's not so simple.
Right.
I think I once mentioned that in Europe, when a chasna was introduced to his new in-laws. So when they want to see if the new chassan is a Talmud Chacham, they would bring out all types of delicacies to eat, a different plate of cookies and different types of fruits, and they would watch what order he made his brachos to see if the guy was a Talmud Chacham or not.
Oy.
I mean, it's a game, if you will. But the point is, there are halachos of kedima, of the order in which you make certain brachos when you're presented with a variety of foods.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right, Wally. We should make a motzi, because when you take cake today, you don't know if it's a gluten-free cake, then there's no mazonos, and then you make the wrong bracha. So I think the smartest thing is just make a motzi, and then don't have to worry about the other thing, because you don't know what these foods are these days.
And that's why you can learn a lot about a caterer to see if a caterer is smart enough to do that. I know at what's that place under the bridge? Under the Whitestone Bridge. What's that?
Marina Del Rey?
Marina Del Rey. They always put out bread at the smorgasbord. They always put out bread to wash. Not every caterer does that. If a caterer is smart and has a good mashkiach, they'll make sure that there's bread at every shmorg to avoid these technical problems. Because again, every time you're making a bracha, you're taking Hashem's name. And that's a biggie. And you want to make the right bracha when you do these things. So not only does it apply towards medication, it applies in normal situations as well. The laws of bracha, when you learn the laws of brachos, most people learn the simple bracha. This is shahako, this is bori priya 8, this is mazon, but they don't go into the details of the variations within those brachos. And it's an area of halacha that should be taught to children. The same way you teach a child to make a bracha, that they should know that there's an order, a precedence, even within mazonos and eights, as well as there are orders. You have to look at the psukim, how are fruits mentioned in the Torah. If grapes comes before pomegranates, then you make the broi priya 8s on a grape before you eat a pomegranate, and so forth. So and wheat would come before spelt or barley or oats. There are a lot of important halachos that, for some reason, somehow are not generally taught, and this is another area that hopefully will be corrected. I'm hoping it will be. You need principles to make that point. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it happen yet, but maybe in the future it will happen. But as far as medication is concerned, the easiest thing to do is to drink whatever you're drinking first, make your bracha, and then take your pill. Even if you don't chew it and you're swallowing it, there is nutritive value to it. It may not be gustatory value, but it's certainly beneficial. And we do have to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for everything that we have. Because again, going back to the original statement of the Gemara, whoever benefits from this world without thanking Hashem is a thief. You're stealing. You're stealing. So you have to ask. A bracha is essentially asking permission from Hashem to derive benefit from His creation, and that's what brachos are all about. Hopefully, we should all be healthy and not need medication. But if you do take medication, do it in the proper way, and the same thing applies to your smorgasbord at your next simcha. Okay. Any questions, comments? Okay. Have a wonderful Shabbos.
Thank you, Wally. Have a great
Thank
Shabbos.
you. Have a great Shabbos, everybody. Great Shabbos.
Don't forget,
Have a good Shabbos.
the 3 weeks begins on Sunday.
Right. I have to shave.
And get a haircut.
No, haircut I took.
Okay, everybody.
Oh.